Drive, but I played Super Nintendo. But then time came rumbling on, and the consoles that I loved are now as old as the hills, and my memories aren't enough. But if I emulate, then it almost feels like nothing's changed at all. And if I emulate, I'll pretend I'm not playing Mario 64. How am I gonna play a Mother 2 without this? How am I gonna play on Contra 3 without this?
Facebook! Hear ye, hear ye. The Explosive Alan podcast is now open and in session. Gather gentle spoons, announce yourselves, and tell the audience which historical figure, living or dead, you'd like to get in the ring with.
I'm Simon, and I've never had a fight with anyone, so I don't really know who I could take on. I can't gauge it, so let's say Hitler.
Okay. That's understandable. I'm not even going to ask for justification.
Yeah.
He's short, so I reckon you'd
I
probably
could take
have
him. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Ash, and I would get in the ring with Joseph McCarthy. McCarthy-era McCarthy?
Oh, yeah, outing.
I should back this up. So, from Wikipedia, he was noted for making claims that there were large numbers of communists and Soviet spies inside the United States government and elsewhere, and most notably Hollywood. And he basically ruined a whole bunch of films and kicked out a bunch of awesome talent.
Yeah. A lot of directors suffered because of McCarthyism, didn't they?
Yeah, he's a prick.
Two things here. One that's a very educated and intelligent response.
So was Hitler.
No, that was standard, basic.
Okay.
And two, I like the fact you didn't even swear there. You could have just said "fuck that guy," because we're not censored.
I don't know why I stopped. I've been away for too long, like a week away from this podcast.
What's the matter with you, South African man?
I know.
Hello, my name's Gareth, and upon hearing that Simon doesn't know how to fight, I'd like to fight Simon.
Are you saying that Simon is a historical figure?
Yes.
I really am. Thank you for that. Also, you don't know, neither do I, how well I could fight. If you corner me, you might regret it.
I don't think so.
I think he's a caged lion.
I could be.
You are a historical figure because this is... if it had been the 25th episode, then it could have blamed some history there. But no, sod it, I'll fight Jesus.
Oh.
Two beardy men in the ring, going
Jesus.
toe to toe.
He's got some tricks, though.
He's got a couple of
Jesus.
tricks, yeah.
He's got a mean left.
And a cup of wine to throw in your face.
Trying to think
An
of-
infinitely respawning cup of wine as well.
What about you, other person?
My name is Dan, and based on his recent policy that everyone in North Korea has to have the same haircut as him, I'd go in the ring with Kim Jong-un.
Oh.
The little turd.
He does actually look like a sweaty turd as well,
He
doesn't
does
he?
look like a little
A bloated,
sweaty
sweaty
turd.
turd.
He looks like 10 pounds of potatoes in an 8-pound bag.
And then with a shitty little toupee put on top of that sack.
Yeah.
Just another... He's just a ridiculous, murderous despot trying to succeed in his father's equally ridiculous shadow, so I'd like to punch 7 bells out of him without all of his security, and just show him what the real world's about. Okay. Suggested names. Quite a bonanza this time in light of the news, which we'll get into later, so let's rattle through these. I wanted to go for a double title special, because there's a lot of Oculus Rift names, but there's 2 for Assassin's Creed Unity that I like a lot. One in particular, even though they're both pretty similar. So, quickly. Dan Long went with Rid Oculus. Dave Prowse with Oculus Mift. Pooh! Thomas Wergler with VRing Off Track. Connor Parfit with Virtually Billionaires. Alex Shaw with Might As Well Face... Oh, so he said I had to sing this. Might as well Facebook, you're addicted to Rift.
That's quite good, actually.
I like that one.
Liam Duffy with Face Ock. And they're the Oculus Rift ones, so what do we like there?
I like the
Oculus-
singing one.
I might as well Facebook.
You're addicted to Rift.
A lot of letters, though. It's a lot of letters.
It's a lot of letters.
A lot of letters.
Will it fit?
Maybe we'll only go with that one, and I can just give these Assassins ones honourable mentions then. Tom Durbin went with Les Assassinables, or
Les
Les Assassinables.
Yep.
But the one that I preferred is from Daniel Price, which is Slay Miserable.
Okay, that's much better.
Slay Miserable.
Yeah.
In reference to Assassin's Creed being set in the French Revolution.
Well done, Daniel Price.
Well done, Daniel.
You're a
Oculus
wordsmith.
Mift is pretty funny.
Oculus Mift is good as well.
Yeah.
Might as well Facebook. You're addicted to Rift.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Well done. Alex Shaw. That was nice and quick. Right, what are we playing?
What are we playing? What are we playing? What are we playing?
What playing? Right. Simon, what game is it that you have been enjoying this week?
Sonic the Hedge.
Oh, fucking end you, Gareth. Then what
was
are you
that
going
about?
to do?
What was that about not being in a fight?
Now is the time.
Oh, here we go.
I might stand up. I won't. I've been playing...
Check out the pay-per-view live stream coming soon. ExplosiveIsland.com.
Be on that, guys, next Monday. Infamous Second Son is what I've been playing on the PS4. I actually haven't played too much of it. I've been watching my other half, Carl, play it, and he is almost finished it now, I think, because I got bored playing it, and I just didn't really carry on, because it's so bland. It looks lovely, really does. I really like, they've got some cool sound mixing stuff where you focus your power inwards to yourself before like releasing a blast or something, and the sound, because I've got surround sound in my room, the sound starts in all the speakers, and then it kind of like starts really loud, and then it gathers, and then the sound ends up coming out of the pad, so it kind of like, it actually goes from far away and comes towards you, and then you sort of let it go.
See, that's intelligent design.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. But just overall, the characters are so boring looking. Just like the main guy, just like, oh, let's just give someone a hoodie and make him cool. Give him a hat. He's got a hoodie and a beanie.
Did you like the other ones?
I've not played him.
Okay.
But it's just really. Mike Bithell wrote an article for Explosive Island where he said about things in games are the way they are because of things in real life.
Well, that's becoming increasingly the way, so you don't really have to learn a new visual language. It's lazy to rely on real world.
Yeah.
Real world visual language.
Yeah, so like in this, you get to blast yourself up through vents in buildings, like a spring sort of thing. But it makes, if you really think about it, that makes absolutely no sense. It just bothered me. Like this vent on the side of the building that you can go in and shoot yourself out the top, seemingly only goes in to go back out at the top without going through the building in any way. Just like little things like that, and it just...
I was going to say this is my game too, so I will touch on it now as well. Basically, I think it's something of a missed opportunity because visually, as you say, it's absolutely stunning. I've actually taken screen grabs of me just looking at sunsets across the Seattle landscape because it's absolutely gorgeous. But when it actually boils down to it, it's a very kind of stiff and unvaried game, really. You're basically taking over Seattle sector by sector by performing the same 4 or 5 tasks, none of which are particularly challenging or fulfilling. The story mode itself is okay, and the animation, the acting's up there with The Last of Us in terms of quality, but I don't think the characterization necessarily is. The powers are really interesting, but they're not exploited to their full potential either.
No, that's what Carl said. Carl kept saying he wished the powers were better.
And that's what annoys me, because there's so much about it that goes, oh, this isn't cliche, because it's not the usual superpowers of ice blasts and fireballs and things like that. It's like, oh, smoke, that offers a whole other realm of possibility to fire. Neon, what a really cool idea for a power, and later on you get some even weirder and cooler ones. But they're all just reskins, effectively, of the same thing. You're throwing these kind of ineffectual fireballs and watching things collapse like they're made out of plywood.
Yeah.
So,
and one of the powers is concrete. How dumb is that? If you were given the power of concrete, that's stupid.
Can you imagine being at like superhero school and that's what you're handed?
My power is concrete.
For fuck's sake. Honest to God, this guy's flying about the place and I've got concrete. I've got a bright future in paving.
She's pretty nasty with it, though, isn't she? She just seems to jam shards of it into people's legs. Infamous Second Son by now. Ash.
I've been very boring, I'm afraid. I've only been playing a bit of South Park. I have nothing new to report.
That's not boring. It's amazing.
The game's fantastic, but I just don't have anything new to share.
You can tell us where you are, at least.
Tell us a joke.
I can't. So, there once... I can give you a limerick.
Yeah.
When Lady Penelope swoons, her boobies pops up... Let me start again. When Lady Penelope swoons, her boobies pop out like balloons. The butler stands by with a gleam in his eye and pops them back in with warm spoons.
Wow. This is officially already the best what we're playing we've ever done. I'm going to demand a limerick from you every episode.
If every week that you're not playing anything new, you need to come armed with a joke or a limerick.
I can do that.
This is your new thing now, because you've abandoned Can We Go Home now, so you have to be Ash Limerick Man Denton.
All right, no, I don't want to abandon Can I Go Home now.
No,
People seem to like that.
Episodes since you've said it now.
No, jeez.
It's like your desire to leave.
It's almost like I want to stay. What's going on?
It's almost like you've started enjoying yourself. What? Gareth?
Okay, well, in place of you not playing anything new this week, same here, brother. I'm just playing The Last of Us, which is quite a long game, so as I don't game that much for a man who's on a gaming podcast. But just working my way through. I'm in spring, so I've gone all the year round. I've had some weird shit happen, some clickers and all that malarkey. Yeah, good game, well done.
It gets good now.
That's 8 Gareth points out of 10.
It's a lot of Gareth points.
It's the most prestigious rating system in the world.
He gave me 10 Gareth points last week, and then he took them right away when I did something else.
If you get 100 Gareth points,
you get a wow point.
You get
doesn't it?
one.
You know
one wow
Polygon's
point.
Polygon's kind of revisionist reviewing system. They base that on Gareth because he readily strips them
Yeah.
as soon as he awards them. He's
And it is not nice when he does. I
no.
almost cried.
It's a bad feeling. Nobody likes to have their Gareth points taken from them.
No.
No wow points for you this month.
No. And as for me, Dan, the best one of the four, I've been playing
No Gareth points for you.
as well as playing Infamous Second Son and still ploughing through Dark Souls and Tokiden, yes, for another week. I've been playing a game called Console Saga. Now, what was interesting about this is that it was sent to me by a chap called Thomas Hopper, who is a long-term follower of Explosive Alan and had actually submitted music for our other show that we haven't done for a while, Homework. And I gave this a quick go, and it's a really cool little 2D platformer. You play a kind of Game Boy-esque character armed with a gun and an awesome kind of swinging rope mechanism who has to battle his way through these corrupt cartridges and basically save them. But it's surprisingly hardcore. There's kind of definitely echoes of Super Meat Boy, more about collection. But the rope mechanic is really, really cool. And when you get kind of mastered the physics of that and the way that works, you can really kind of bomb around the levels, and it's really, really satisfying. So yeah, good job, Thomas. I believe that's available on PlayStation Vita and PlayStation Mobile. All right, let's get to know.
Getting to know us. Getting to know all about us.
You went too early, Ash.
No rhythm, that man. So, before we proceed with the listeners' questions, just a quick pimp for a little video that Simon and myself did in response to the Oculus Rift Facebook news, which we'll go into a lot more detail a bit later. It's very short. It's 17 seconds. You won't regret. Check it out on our explosivealan.com. Or, actually, don't check it out on explosivealan.com because I haven't put it on there yet, but on YouTube/explosivealan. I'd also like to announce the winner of last week's Gareth's Wild giveaway.
We've got to get a photo of you now pressed up against that window.
Yep. I'm ready for this.
That's it. The sound was of the character I believe is just known as Buddy, unofficially, from Another World. I think only 3 people actually correctly identified it.
My boomer.
Or 3 people bothered to identify it. But the one we chose from our magical hat, i.e. because it doesn't exist, is Chris Locke. So, Chris, please send your details to stuff@explosivealan.com, and a signed picture of Gareth and his face pressed up against some glass will be yours when he can be bothered to do it.
You can have it in digital or physical. I will actually print that out because sometimes you need to have a picture of me.
It's up to you.
If it's not digital, you can just sign it on my tablet screen.
You could have it digital and then you could have it as a wallpaper, maybe.
There you go. You could have it as a wallpaper. It could be your avatar stamp on Twitter. It could be your cover photo on Facebook. It's got so many purposes.
If you were taken hostage, you could have this picture in your wallet as your sort of nearest and dearest next to kin that they might contact.
You can say, please don't kill me. I have a son to feed, and then show him that picture.
Yeah.
As we've moved on from Gareth's Wild giveaway,
Got another competition.
back to the competition.
The competition's back, everybody.
So here's the difference. Gareth's Wild giveaway is strange, meaningless, weird prizes, and the competition are prizes of value that people actually desire.
Yeah.
So
But what do the listeners really want?
I think they'll want
I think they'll want this.
Over a picture of your mushed up face.
We've got 3 codes for Trials Fusion on the PC to give away for the beta. And to get one, you've got to email stuff at ExplosiveAlan or tweet at explosive_Alan. What's your strangest, most embarrassing self-inflicted injury? Tell us what that is, and we'll choose the top 3.
Yeah, your strangest or most embarrassing self-inflicted injury.
Because Trials is all about hurting yourself.
It's all about-
Well, it's not meant to be, but it is.
But it largely is.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So you could have a meaningless beta or a picture of my face pushed up against glass, and you want the beta code.
I think maybe the smushed up picture of your face should be like an option. You can either have Trials or this beautiful
Yeah,
picture
and we'll
of Gareth.
see how many people want my face, okay? We'll see.
You can specify. That's fine. You can absolutely specify. We're going to end that competition on the 1st of April. I think is fair, just so you've got enough time to enjoy the beta before the game itself comes out.
Yes.
Right. First question comes from Dan Long, who says, "Who would you take over, either in a corporate or demonic way, and why?"
I would take over who is stupidly rich, probably like Bill Gates in a demonic way, and then just go and spend all his money and have the time of my life. Probably. Why not? I'm never going to have that much money.
I'm struggling
That's a
with this
very
one.
shallow answer.
Absolutely. And if you were given all that money, you'd do the same.
Well, I'm going to be overtaking somebody with boobs. Going to take some photos of myself and look at myself.
You enjoy that.
Yeah. Wait a minute, I've got boobs.
So rather than looking at photos of boobs on the internet, you're going to take over someone who's got boobs, then take photos of them, then look at the photos of those boobs.
Shut up, I haven't thought this through. Come back
You
to me.
really
Come back
haven't
to me.
thought
Come
this
back to me. I've got an answer in a minute.
I'd just take over David Cameron and make a right prat of myself.
Well, anyway, he's doing a fine job on his own accord.
I know, I mean like full-on nudity, dancing in the middle of the street,
So very similar things to what I just said.
running through Parliament, just kind of bellowing with my willy hanging out and just helicoptering down the halls of power. And everyone would just be like, "Oh, Dave, not again."
I would take over EA and get rid of every free-to-play miniature payment game that they had. And who's in charge of EA now?
Your mum.
Andrew Wilson, I believe his name is.
Okay, I don't have any beef with him yet. But
Oh, it's coming.
I would basically divvy up all of their IPs and give them to the developers that
Why
I saw
EA?
fit.
Get King. They've just floated on the stock market.
It's fine, they're doing their thing. EA actually have games that I care about.
There's the difference.
I would take over Joss Whedon, and I would, with my newfound clout, I would bring Firefly back.
Nice. The animated version, like we've always discussed.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
I don't think the reason that Firefly isn't
Shut up.
back is Joss Whedon's fault.
With his substantial
You should
clout
take
now
over as the executive of a
of
big
Fox.
Yeah, Fox
Yeah,
or
there you go.
HBO or whatever.
All of the stuff that got cancelled, I'd bring back Deadwood as well. That was Fox, right?
Yeah. No, that was HBO.
That was
No,
HBO.
no, it's now been Fox. Fox would buy it. And
Fox cancel everything.
Yeah. Fuck Fox.
Ben Hines says, inspired by the Last of Us glitch that Gareth posted on our Facebook page, very funny it was too, what is the funniest stroke weirdest glitch you've ever experienced?
Something tells me Gareth and I are going to have the same answer.
Is it Red Dead Redemption by any chance?
No.
Oh.
It is Princess Punakins, which is the funniest collection of glitches I've ever seen.
But it's not glitched though, is it? That's an emulator, not an emulator.
It's a hack, isn't it?
It's so funny,
mod.
though.
Oh, does that not count? I can do another one. We'll start that
Fine.
again.
Punakins is sort of a hack glitch, and it is just it is
Google-
just a horse glitching.
Yeah, if you've not seen it, Google Princess Punakins. It is so funny.
We've definitely mentioned Punakins in some of the earlier episodes. So yeah, okay, I'll give that a pass. I'll let that pass.
Mine's it wasn't really funny, but the only one I can really think of is when I played Left 4 Dead 2, I think, and they released a user-generated level, but they sort of sorted it out so you could actually download it as a proper one. And when I was playing it, the whole screen went white, jumped around, and when it came back, the whole sky turned into what looked like hundreds of thousands, because it was a space starry sky. Space. It's just nighttime sky, but with stars, but it had inverted. So all the colours just went crazy. So for the whole level, I was just running around with like white sky, but with like pink and blue spots everywhere. It was weird.
Save for the Red Dead Redemption ones, because I've experienced very similar ones to the ones that you see on the net, where for some reason the assets are just swapped around at random, and so John Marston will be riding around on one of the
Cart.
ladies from the town or something like
Yeah.
bizarre like that. I've also, I can't remember which open world game it was. It might have been one of the Saints Rows. I think it might have been Saints Row 2 actually, where for no reason, just driving and clipped something, and suddenly my guy just like cartwheeled out of the vehicle and then just cartwheeled into infinity, endlessly spinning around into white space forever.
I had something similar on Far Cry 3. I was what's the big wing things? Paragliding into some sort of dangerous situation where there was lots of men running around, and I think I clipped one of them and then went into the mountain. So I was underneath, and all you could see was like imagine if the mountain was hollow, and all the guys were sort of running around trying to shoot me. But I was inside this thing, and my body kept on spinning over and over again, similar to that. But I could kind of direct myself to where I wanted to be. And I eventually got to some water where I thought, well, maybe if I like swim through this, I'll swim up and on the other side. But then, I don't know, just everything was getting inverted. It was like some sort of hellish, I don't know, nightmare. That is definitely it, because for ages I was just like trying to find the men, like taunting them by spinning around underneath them. And they're like trying to shoot at me, but it was fantastic. In fact, I think I actually recorded some of it. I've got it somewhere.
You reminded me of the other Far Cry 3 one that I used to get, which is where the Molotov cocktail bottle somehow got stuck permanently into my bow and arrow or my arm or something, and was huge on the screen and would just jut out. So every time I was trying to fire an arrow, my view would be obscured by this giant, 7-foot high Molotov cocktail in my field of vision.
It thought your Molotov was a tattoo. It had swapped the assets for a tattoo on
Something
your arm.
like that.
Yeah,
It was
I seem to remember
deeply
that.
bizarre. And the final question comes from Chris Locke, who says, "What's your favourite ruddy swear word that isn't actually a poxy swear, you blooming podcasters?"
Mine's melon.
You
Yeah, big
melon.
old melon.
I like melon.
Mine's fooge. No, if things go wrong, fooge.
Huge.
I'm just such a fan of swear word originals.
My friend's mum used to say, "You're all hat and no knickers," which I liked. I have no idea what it means.
I like all the classic, I suppose, like ballyhoo and tomfoolery and shenanigans.
Yeah.
They're not quite swears, but they're like a skullduggery, maybe.
Skullduggery. Mine's prong. I just call people a chuffing prong.
Shut up, you melon.
Yeah, shut up, you prong. Yeah, I like that.
Numpty.
Numpty, there you go.
There you go.
Spot on. All right, you prong, settle down. It's time for the news gong. Hey, that rhymed.
This is the news, and these are our views. In 60 seconds, flat. It's not very long, but we're ruled by a gong that hates meandering chat.
Simon, sound the news klaxon.
Man, I enjoyed that.
Shall I go first with the news?
Go on.
Or should we just mix things up like the crazy kids we are?
Oh, no, you go first.
All right then, Simon. I didn't want to confuse you.
Christ, can I go home now?
Yay! It's back, everyone. Right.
Seriously, let's fucking hurry up.
Well, who saw this coming? Like some sort of incredibly rich eagle, Facebook has swooped in to purchase Oculus VR for $2 billion, presumably with a view to grabbing it with its golden talons and flying away to devour it from the safety of its nest. I think the metaphor might have got away from me. Up to now, the Rift has been pitched primarily as a gaming device, but now Facebook creator Jesse Eisenberg reckons it could be used for communications and other forms of entertainment media. According to Team A magazine, he envisions it being used for virtual worlds where they can buy goods and are served advertisements. So my question is this: smart move, or has Oculus VR just signed its own death warrant?
Start.
20 billion packets of cheesy Space Raiders.
That's how you measure every investment.
All I'm saying.
That is a lot. There's a lot of Space Raiders. I think it'll be fine.
I would love it if Gareth was just some deeply eccentric billionaire who made all of his investments in Space Raiders. I like this Oculus technology. Let me offer you 20 billion packets of Space Raiders.
Oculus is worth 2 billion, but WhatsApp is 9. Go figure. How the fuck does that work?
Well, I read that 2 billion is the amount that Eisenberg has promised WhatsApp if the deal falls through.
Ah.
So for the amount he's paying Oculus, he's going to give WhatsApp 2 billion even if things don't work out.
Jesus.
Okay.
The reason I'm not saying much on this is because there's a whole great debates about this. So, go crazy, guys. Just go crazy.
You could say it was short-sighted to have this as a news piece as well.
Potentially,
question.
Gareth. Potentially, Gareth. I was going to skip the question altogether, but
Well, don't worry,
just fill
because
that
here's the
time.
gong now.
It looks like EA is paying attention to the right games when it comes to inspiration for its new Star Wars titles. Speaking to CNN, new CEO Andrew Wilson expressed that he's not interested in creating games based on particular films, but seeks to emulate the model for the Batman Arkham series. As he put it in fluent marketingese, what Warner Brothers did with Batman was take the core roots of that IP and manifest that inside the walls of Gotham City, and delivered an interactive experience that had real ties to what you would see in the films and what you had read in the comics. While having its own life because it could provide such deep and more immersive storylines.
What a pile of crap. Who wrote that?
Well, the CEO of EA.
No, but
Or at
who,
least his PA.
Yeah, I was going to say, who really wrote that?
So the question is, isn't that what LucasArts were doing anyway?
Yes.
Question mark?
Yeah, it's exactly what they were
Yes.
doing. Most of their games weren't based on particular films either. They were all based on experiences in the Star Wars universe. X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, Dark Forces, even the shitty Bounty Hunter game they made. Star Wars 1313 was set within the wider Star Wars universe.
In fact, I struggled to think of a game that was based on a film.
Apart from the old Atari Star Wars games and then stuff like Super Star Wars and the Super Nintendo, none of their kind of recent Star Wars games were ever based on a particular movie. Oh, no, there was that. There was Episode 1 Pod Racer, again, a kind of spin-off title. I think they did do a dedicated Revenge of the Sith game, which was gash, but Again, they were the exception rather than the rule.
What was the god-awful Star Wars Connect? That wasn't based on the film, was it?
It was. There was that scene in The Empire Strikes Back when they all sing "It's fun to be in the Empire today" to the tune of YMCA. That happened.
And that day, something died inside me.
There was that, yeah. That was awful.
I've got that.
But yeah, it's annoying to hear him talk like this, and then Star Wars 1313 being canned.
Oh, man, I could talk about that more, but I
could Joker card it.
Will I?
Do you want us to Joker card?
Joker card.
Joker card. Go on then.
Joker card.
Go.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Why would they can 1313 just why?
Yeah.
And also, I realise I haven't got anything more to say.
I'm not sure. Well, the question is, I mean, Disney. It sounds like Disney canned it because I don't know, it didn't tie into whatever their vision for what Star Wars was going forward. But if that's not the case, then EA had a team and a game ready to pick up that completely followed Wilson's supposedly revolutionary ethos on Star Wars games.
Are they just trying to preemptively say that they're not going to be waiting around for the new films, and they're not going to be focusing too much on the new films? Because it must be what a lot of people worry about, a new franchise of films coming out. No,
it's true, but I think to kind of say that in a way that completely ignores the LucasArts legacy is also really narrow-sighted.
It's EA's complete grasp of the games industry.
I mean, I have some faith in Wilson because he's an ex-dev himself and probably has a bit more care about this, but I think what he said is quite naive. Simon, what's your news?
Well, PlayStation Turkey VP Serkan Sulan, I don't know if I said that right, announced to Turkish CNN's games website Multiplayer that The Last of Us will be coming to PS4 with enhanced graphics and as both a physical and digital release. In response to the question about The Last of Us sequel, Sulan said, this is translated: "A sequel is not coming right now as far as I know, but I can say that the first game will be released this summer for PS4 as a physical and digital copy with enhanced graphics." Sony has since officially responded saying, "At no time have we announced that The Last of Us is coming to PS4 and therefore have nothing to say on the subject."
Fired in the morning.
Exactly. So my question is kind of a bit redundant now, but I'll ask it anyway. Is this and Tomb Raider the start of definitive editions of games for the new generation? Go.
Yeah, I mean, it's the new HD edition.
Well, as I was thinking, they can't really call it HD anymore when you bring a title across. Now they have to give it more than just upscaling it.
Yeah, and I think the fact they said, "Oh, we have nothing to say on the subject," instead of outright denying it means.
Oh, is that what they said?
Means that Mr. What was he called?
Serkan Salun,
Mr. Turkey VP,
who himself could be a Star Wars character. It's a good Star Wars name, that.
Who himself has just received his P45.
Yeah, he's done a bit of a mistake there.
Yeah, Turkish not a famously strong. PlayStation territory.
I would really like a definitive Last of Us edition. I'd play that game through again if it was on the PS4.
It's not a game where I went, oh, if only that game looked better though.
Oh no, but I just like it.
Oh yeah, as an excuse. I mean, I guess they've looked at Tomb Raider Definitive and gone, okay, we can add realistic haircuts for everybody.
Do you not think that is just a waste of £40 though?
It seems just a waste of effort. And finally, Mr. Dentone.
Right. Ubisoft has stuffed a hidden blade in the back of the previous console generation with the announcement of Assassin's Creed Unity for Xbox, PS4 and PC. A short demo claiming to be taken from the alpha version reveals that it'll be set during the French Revolution and that it'll be a significant step up from its predecessors, visually anyway. It's currently due for release this November. However, the blow to 360 and PS3 owners may not be fatal, as it's rumored that Ubi also has a standalone title in the works. So the question is, more of the same, only prettier, or have lessons been learned?
Start.
One can only hope.
People liked Black Flag, right?
Yeah, I love that game. It's brilliant.
So
I think Black Flag strayed so far from the Assassin's Creed template, though. Assassin's Creed 3, like the redeeming part of that was sailing, so they went, let's do more sailing.
Yeah.
But when you actually got to the on foot bit, it was Assassin's Creed by numbers. What I want them to do is go back to what Assassin's Creed was, but just bring a lot more depth to that world, rather than doing an Infamous, which is make a game that looks astonishingly pretty, but have it be entirely surface.
It does look astonishingly pretty.
It does.
What's the essential Assassin's Creed that you're looking for?
Well, the one thing I've suggested
not
before...
Not the first one.
No. Two to Brotherhood. But again, I think that's the problem. It's never got better than that, and it should, and that's what they should be focusing on. So it needs to be something more like Hitman, where it's focusing back on the assassinations, but making those assassinations multi-path, multifaceted, and so you've got more freedom of choice of the way you tackle those assassination missions. But it's about being assassin again, primarily. Ashley,
Hey,
it's your challenge.
it's the challenge.
Hold on to your circuits. It's challenge time.
Right, so my challenge is called Location, Lolcation.
Lol.
Right, so,
What a twist.
Kill yourself.
so the point of this game is I'm going to give you a bunch of level names and locations that exist in games, and you have to tell me what the game is. So there's 3 random locations for each game. And I've made sure that this is definitely something that Gareth can compete in, and he has played and probably finished every single one.
Get the Gareth handicap.
Yeah.
No. This is not a handicap. I'm just letting you know in advance that you have actually played these things rather than like, oh, it's the fucking Mushroom Village.
Oh, we all know what that's from.
Sure.
Sonic the plumber man.
No.
Okay, so here.
Is there a score system like if we get it on the first place or
No, whoever gets it gets a
just
point.
gets a point? All right.
Cool.
Do we buzz? I like buzzers.
Sure, say your name. Or do you want a buzz sound?
G-Funk.
D-Money.
You're gonna do that every time?
Yeah.
Okay?
No, I'm D. D.
You want to get your finger already ready. This
D.
will be a messy game.
So, the first game, first location. Paradiso Bay, San Espirito, or Mendoza Airport.
D-Mob.
G-Funk. Damn it.
GTA 5?
Nope.
Oh, were you next? I only got
No.
G-Funk.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fine.
G-Funk's next.
Was that Dead Island?
Nope.
Was it Grand Theft Auto San Andreas?
No.
What is it?
It's Just Cause.
I've not played that.
Just Cause 2 or 1?
Oh,
I didn't play that.
okay.
Yeah, Gareth, that's your fault. He chose that game.
Well, I didn't play it either.
Oh, okay. Should we start again then? That's not fair. Yeah, I've got loads of
So
them.
none of
All
us
right, okay.
None of us played it.
Let's start.
Oh, sorry. I thought everyone had played the game. Let's start again. All right. So you've all played this game: Old Haven, Firestone, or the Arid Badlands.
G-Funk. Oh, it's... Yeah, no, Christ. Is it Rage?
Nope.
D-Mob.
Borderlands 2.
Oh,
He's on it. It's actually Borderlands 1, but I'll give you that.
Oh, no.
Do you know what's even worse?
Borderlands 1.
What's even worse is I actually meant Borderlands 2.
Oh, no. So, next one. Tumbleweed, Armadillo.
G-Funk. Red Dead Redemption.
He's on it. Right.
Armadillo.
Right, now I'm going to go to the other ones. Right. Next game. City Hall, Unplanned Parenthood, or City Walk.
D-Mob.
South Park Stick of Truth.
God damn it.
Right. So,
Shitty Walk.
So, you ready? Whispering Oaks, Ducktail Sugar Mill, or Mercy Hospital.
G-Funk. That Resident Evil.
Nope.
What was the second one?
Left 4 Dead 2.
Yep. It was
The Sugar Mill.
Ducktail Sugar Mill.
I thought it said
I thought
DuckTales.
Mercy Hospital was Resident
DuckTales.
Evil 2.
No.
And the Sugar Mill. Where's the
PlayStation.
hospital? Left 4 Dead.
So you've got 3 points, and
Sure
now
do.
cannot be beaten. You can be drawn with.
And, no,
Bring it.
Are you? Yeah.
So the next one is Mushroom Kingdom, Bowser's Cut. That's not.
Oh.
Right.
And now you're out of the next round.
Right. Are we ready? Okay. Raid, Meltdown.
G-Funk. That would be Call of Duty.
Which Call of Duty?
Meltdown is... Ooh.
This has to be a specific Call of Duty.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Black Ops 2.
You would be right.
Oh!
And the last one, I like that this last one. The
This is
last
officially my
one's nice.
worst quiz ever. Well done, Ash.
That wasn't my intention. Right. So these locations are starting Boston, Massachusetts.
G-Funk. The Last of Us.
There you go. He's on it.
Oh, yeah!
So we drew, and if I was going to win, I was
you have
going to
any
give it
more?
to you anyway.
Do you have,
so...
do you have a
I do.
tiebreaker?
I've got a tiebreaker.
Oh!
So this is a tiebreaker between Gareth
Finger
and
is
Simon.
in my mouth.
Right. I'm going to try and find something that's a bit harder and make
You ready?
sure.
You better.
I tell you what, just you guys haven't played this, but you'll know it.
Okay.
Okay. If you don't, if no one gets it, I'll move on to another one. But just because it's quite cool. Right. Sword Base, Forge World, Planet Reach.
G-Funk.
Halo. Oh.
Oh, you did...
Oh, yeah.
Halo.
Halo.
Reach.
Reach.
No, he
Reach,
gave me the
reach,
answer. That's
reach,
not
reach,
fair.
reach.
That didn't work. There was no
That
official
doesn't work.
buzzing. That was rubbish.
Okay.
It
We need a
slipped
new.
out.
We need a new one.
It slipped out like... Okay, coin toss then. Heads,
All right.
heads, tails.
Actually, I want to flip
Tails
the
never
coin. No,
fails.
no.
What about Kanto, Johto?
Pokemon!
G-Funk. Pokemon.
Coin toss.
Tails never fails.
Are you happy with this?
Yeah.
Okay. It's heads. It's
Tails
heads.
does fail.
Simon wins.
You know, that's 2 times I've done Tails Never Fails, and
It's
both
failed.
Both times it's failed. So I'm going to choose Gareth for the next game.
Oh,
And I choose Simon.
You lost, so choose me or you won.
Okay, I will come up with a suitable game which will shock you to your core.
that was really good. I think you've discovered my weak point with games.
Seriously, I'm quite surprised.
I knew what they were, but like Simon's face popping and
Next week's game is loosely based on face popping.
that was a very good quiz, Ashley. I very much enjoyed it, despite being a massive loser. Let's move on to the great debate.
The internet's home to prejudice, illiteracy, and hate. You can be called all sorts of things for the feelings that you state. But if you're kind, calm of mind, and able to articulate, then take our hand and take a stand and join the great debates. Then take our hand and take a stand and join the great debate.
Okay, so as hinted earlier in the episode, the big topic is obviously Facebook's buyout of Oculus VR. So I asked this very simple question: where do you stand on Facebook's buyout of Oculus VR? Surprise, surprise.
Facebook.
From Daniel Price, who says, off the top of my head, I can't think of an acquisition Facebook has made that it's run into the ground or flooded with its own systems. Instagram and WhatsApp are still going strong with their own brand identities, so why do we think Oculus will be any different? I don't think we've got much to worry about. And on a similar note, also on Facebook, Chris Shannon says, I've bought into the whole decentralized industry thing, but as much as I love democratization, what exactly are we worried about? Sure, Facebook might do some branding, but they aren't going to tank Oculus for shits and giggles. It's a piece of hardware, not a service. It works or it doesn't. Facebook bought it to make money, not as part of some dastardly ploy.
I want to high five him. It's got me all pumped up.
Yeah?
Yeah,
it's a good point.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What was that, Gareth?
What?
Yeah. Ooh.
That's his pump sound.
No, I'm totally pumped for what I can see what they're saying, but is that really what people are worried about? That's not what people are one side of the line or the other, is it?
I think people were worried slightly, and then they just went super extreme. Because, like, of course, when you first hear it, you're like, well, why has Facebook bought it? Why Facebook? But then they've just taken that and run.
Surely nobody could be really that worried about a company with that much money who are going to be able to then pump money into it. Because if you throw enough money at anything, then you can make it work.
The issue
Except
seems
for
to
maybe
be
Bing.
well, yeah, the issue seems to be the perception of Facebook, the site, versus Facebook, the company. So I did a bit of research to kind of see, well, what else has Facebook been up to outside of Facebook? And they've invested in, or they've led some really interesting projects. They've got the Open Compute project, where they've developed energy and material efficient servers. They've got Origami, which has transformed a motion graphics tool called Quartz Composer into an accessible design prototyping toolkit. And they've developed Hack and HHVM, which are an open source language and runtime environment that are geared towards rapid application development. So this is the side of Facebook that I think a lot of critics seem to be ignoring almost deliberately. Success in hardware versus software is less assured. I mean, you've got the Facebook phone as an example of something that tanked massively. But the fact that they're working on all these other software development methods mean that, providing the right tools for like cheap and efficient Oculus development to allow more developers to create products for it is a real possibility.
Do you think it's ignoring, or do you think it's ignorance? Because I wouldn't have even known at all about any of that, nor would I have even thought to look what else they were investing in.
I think maybe the typical Kickstarter investor might, the man on the street might, but I would say that most members of the games journalism community haven't paid that much attention to it.
I didn't know a single thing about any of what you just said there.
Yeah, but they're not things that Facebook shout about. Everyone seems to be focusing on the site.
Yeah,
and
that's what you,
obviously
that's what you know of them,
obviously
it?
it's shaky reputation in terms of the acquisition and the use of user data and the incessant bloating of the site and the games that succeed on Facebook, which are developed externally, not by Facebook themselves, and associating all of that with Facebook.
That sounds to me more like critics should just learn to shut the fuck up rather than jumping on a bandwagon and slating decisions.
And obviously, $2 billion is a lot of money, and it's going to be hard for anyone who's had a startup, who's managed to build this up from crowdfunding, to then turn around and say, no, we don't want to align with you. Now, interestingly, obviously, Palmer Luckey is the guy who's in all the headlines at the moment because he's the guy that created Oculus Rift. He said, on Reddit to kind of clarify the reasoning behind his decision. He said, the partnership accelerates our vision, allows us to execute on some of our most creative ideas and take risks that were otherwise impossible. Most importantly, it means a better Oculus Rift with fewer compromises even faster than we anticipated. So he sees his cash injection of a way of reducing the compromises they had to make in the development of the hardware and actually getting out a retail version of it quicker. That can't be a bad thing, if true. But the other important guy in this is John Carmack, who left id specifically for Oculus. He's obviously got a massive background in game development, specifically in tech. And he said, I have a deep respect for the technical scale that FB operates at. The cyberspace we want for VR will be at this scale. So it seems that they're kind of aligning with a company who's got grand plans, and knowing John Carmack, he's probably got some grand vision for Oculus as well.
Do you think they chased it, or do you think Facebook chased them?
What, for the purchase?
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah. I think Facebook went straight for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't see Oculus thinking instantly they're the company for us. And even Palmer Luckey said,
if John Carmack thought, maybe.
Well, John Carmack did, but Palmer Luckey, who owns it, said he was actually very cynical.
Oh, okay.
Or skeptical, I think the word was he used when Facebook first approached him. But they seemed to talk him round to it.
I suppose that really the bone of contention isn't any of these things, though. It is that people feel as if they have a slight ownership over it due to the kickstarting.
Yes.
So, I mean, obviously there's nothing in Kickstarter guidelines which says you can't then sell your thing that you've funded.
I think their issue is that it was messaged as such, not that they wouldn't sell out, but that it was like a platform for the people kind of thing. Well, let me just raise that point, actually. Tweet. On Twitter, Luke Sheridan says, I don't really understand the hate towards Facebook buying Oculus. It may be untried in the gaming world, but everyone has to start somewhere, and the Kickstarter's anger is nonsensical. How can they argue about more money being injected into Oculus? And that as you say, this raises a question about Oculus, inverted commas again, investors. Are they owed anything beyond the perks they're promised? Should they have any say in the company's future relative to their really non-existent stake? Or have they really just paid for a product that just doesn't yet exist fully?
When you buy into it, you are buying an idea, and you're buying hopefully the completion of that idea. So you don't have any stake in that company whatsoever. I mean, there's ethically there's questions about if it's a software which is developed for the people, then you could say, well, you're not delivering upon that. But I don't think that Facebook are going to suddenly shut the doors. It's not going to be like an Apple product where it's going to be a big walled garden. I imagine they're still going to try and keep this as open as possible, like you said, with keeping Instagram and WhatsApp functioning in the same way as what they have done previously. I don't think they're going to go in and change things. They're just going to throw more money at it, give them more resources.
Yeah, and that also all of their other projects are geared towards open development.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that matters to me, is if they keep it open source. That's really important, because that was kind of the whole deal, right? Where you could basically build any part of it if you want, build onto it. But then hold on, so we've been talking about like WhatsApp and Instagram. Are we sure? Like how long ago were those acquisitions? Couple of years, maybe?
Well,
maybe
WhatsApp is still happening. Because
are we sure that they just buy companies and just let them keep running? I don't think so. I think they're going to be absorbed into Facebook.
Maybe not keep running, but that they're kept in the same image as what they were bought.
Part of it
until
is because
WhatsApp becomes Facebook Messenger.
Well, no, the important thing with Instagram and WhatsApp is that they're both established mobile platforms. And Facebook Mobile tried it themselves and failed, and they didn't capitalize on the mobile space quickly enough. So effectively, they've gone, oh shit, we fucked up, so let's just jump on two people that did really well and pour loads of money into them instead. So yeah, I mean, in the long term, it's interesting to see, but take Microsoft, for example, when they acquired Skype, rather than absorbing Skype into their system, they actually shut down their own equivalent of Skype and made Skype the lead brand instead, with no kind of Microsoft branding dotted all over it, and actually just incorporated that into other things. So now we're seeing Skype on Xbox One, for example. And
do we know that they're actually looking to liquidate WhatsApp? I thought the idea was just to keep that open. I mean, obviously, you own the competition, so you're a monopoly, but I don't think they're looking to just absorb it. I'm sure
Facebook's lawyers wouldn't say they were a monopoly, but that might be what they're getting to at some point.
Yeah.
If he's just there to earn money, so if Eisenberg's just there to get some money, then that's totally fine, as long as he keeps the dream alive. It's kind of like McDonald's owning like 1% of Pret, right? They don't actually have any control over Pret. They just know that it makes a hell of a lot of money, so they just bought some.
Yeah.
I just wish he'd make a second Zombieland, to be honest.
Yeah, seriously. Stop making
Eisenberg.
Facebook, yeah.
I know.
Stop making Facebook. Make a Zombieland.
He made that great movie, Now You See Me.
Man, that was... I hear they've got a sequel for that.
And what was the other one?
Really?
What was the other one? 30 Seconds or... 30 seconds or less?
60 seconds or less.
60 seconds or less. Oh, he's in that new Rish Ayawade movie, though, isn't he?
The Double.
The Double, yeah. So
Busy man.
He's a busy man,
so
running
busy.
Facebook and starring in all those movies. It's
hard.
It's really impressive. So I don't see why everyone gives him such a hard time, to be honest.
And Rio.
And Rio. Thanks,
Rio
Simon.
too.
Thanks for that, Simon.
Don't worry.
Now, we've obviously read out messages from people who are not necessarily in favour, but just don't really see what the fuss is about. So let's hear from someone who is slightly less convinced.
Facebook.
Tom Bedford says, I don't like the fact that Facebook have started to buy up every property out there, and I don't like that an initially crowdfunded project has become seemingly a cash-in. It will help the platform reach more people, but it'll be at the cost of control for the Oculus team itself. I don't fancy the idea of an immersive game being interrupted by a floaty message bubble popping up. I feel like Facebook have been investing in platforms media that they either don't have a foot in, like Oculus, or that are being used preferentially to their shitty systems, i.e. WhatsApp versus Facebook Messenger, and I don't see what they will add to Oculus other than a larger name to distribute it under. To that I say, what about a huge amount of experience and development resources?
And money.
And money,
Yeah.
money.
That sounds like a conspiracy theory. Like, why? Why are they buying everything?
Yeah, it does a little bit.
They're all evil.
They need
It's
money
business.
to pay the people to keep making the product. And, it might run out. But, you guys started Explosive Island. You produced Thank You for Playing. Had you not taken on side work, you'd be gone by now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you talk about Kickstarted stuff, we are the epitome of this deal.
Yeah, but that's why we keep doing the community-based stuff on
Exactly,
top of that. Like,
yeah.
we made Thank You for Playing, and we promised to deliver a pilot, and we went beyond, I think, what we'd originally thought it was going to be. And then, fortunately, with all the gear we were able to buy by going over the odds, because we said that was the stretch goals, we'd be able to buy all the stuff, we've been able to sustain ourselves and keep making things like the podcast and our YouTube videos on top of doing commercial work with the gear that people have helped us.
We still don't have advertising.
And we still don't have advertising.
We have a couple of pop-ups on YouTube, don't we?
Yeah.
But we don't make any money off of it.
No,
Yeah.
there's not enough people watch it.
But,
May as well take it off.
No.
But had you not taken on that side, the other work, you'd have been closed, which maybe could have happened to Oculus had they not had this massive cash injection.
Yeah, I mean, Thank You for Playing kind of, in a way, kind of went over the budget we'd originally envisaged. And instead of going back and going cap in hand and trying to get more money, we said, well, the people have done more than enough for us already. Our fans have done so much for us. So we need to work hard now to still make this a reality and make it happen. Right, going back to your point about conspiracy theories, I was going to save this to the end, but it's seeing as it's on topic.
Facebook.
On Facebook, Reese Harmon says, Facebook clearly wants us all to live our lives online in some weird Matrix stroke that FBI guy in Heavy Rain world, where we won't be able to tell what's reality and what is Facebook's online world they have made for us.
I like that.
If I don't age in that world, then hey, I'm fine with it.
We've been talking.
I
about
know this steak isn't real.
If we can download our memories into a disc and then upload ourselves as a virtual representation of ourselves, I am down with that.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Kill me now, because
Yeah.
I'm ready to live digitally.
I'm
Yeah.
ready to be a battery.
Yeah. Sort me out.
We can be a haggle of batteries. Another naysayer.
Facebook.
Tom Durbin. Who's Zuckerberg? Has said that buying Oculus is the chance to create the most social platform ever. The problem here is that Rift's future purchases, as it stands now at least, don't want that. Myself and countless others dream of VR as a solitary experience. The chance to put on a headset and be lost in a completely immersive world. The Oculus Rift was always intended for gamers wanting to fly a spaceship or fight dragons, not send other players' requests on a virtual farm. Now, here's another example of where I think people have started getting confused about Facebook, the company, and Facebook, the website. There's this immediate thing where they think Oculus Rift is going to become the Facebook platform, i.e. just virtual Facebook, hence Farmville and Candy Crush. Now, I've made flippant jokes about this, and our video kind of makes a flippant joke of this, but I certainly don't think for a second that's going to be the reality of the situation.
No, it
I
won't
doubt
be.
you'll even have Facebook on Oculus Rift.
Probably not.
Why-
Maybe a
why?
little plug-in, but nothing. It won't be the main thing.
There's
Oh, no.
There's absolutely zero purpose for it.
I think there will be.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll make for some kind of browsing experience where you can be surrounded by all of the photos you've taken and things like that. And
I imagine what it'll be similar to what it is now, like, on iOS or can you do it on consoles? You could probably just take a snapshot of whatever you're playing and then upload it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there's also,
Easily.
he's already explained these kind of blue sky ideas, which is stuff like, imagine you can go and watch a basketball game courtside, but you're not actually there, and stuff like that. He is thinking about non-gaming experience and applications, but I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't see why a platform that allows for creative application development should be considered to be opposed to game development, that the two can't exist together.
I imagine that it'll be Messenger, a bit like that episode of Sherlock where he had like 10 computers around him. He didn't have multiple tabs open. He had 10 computers. So it would be like that virtual world where you can see the messages coming in, and it would be like you're just actually interacting, a bit like real life, really.
So you're just like ducking out of the way of mail.
Yeah. Whoa! Hey, how you doing? Whoa, lol. A link to a funny cat.
You've seen Disclosure, haven't you? Mm-hmm. So that's it. We'll be walking through virtual hallways and accessing libraries in a far less efficient way than the means that we currently have open to us.
Lawnmower Man is going to become a reality. That is what's going to happen.
Actually, if you've seen the Connect Sports Rivals face creation demo video, it already is a reality and terrifying. Are we to say that this is just a question of just gamer elitism again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Surely the application of Oculus is that it could be much wider than anything Sony could produce, because Sony will be focused on a games environment, where this really could be from film, TV,
surgery simulators.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, everyone suddenly has an opinion on the inner workings of Facebook, the machinations of these companies and their day-to-day, and they assume to know. There's so many reaction videos and articles that have come out, some of which are very, very balanced and even-handed. There was one that I read, though, on CVG that was the most kind of, clickbait doom-mongering I think I've ever read. It literally ends with the line, "The VR dream for games is over."
When you saw what this company did to Oculus Rift,
You won't believe it.
but then you will. Sorry, I'm turning into
like,
Clarkson.
it's fine. It's fine if that ends up being the case, but to state that so categorically, as if there is no way that this Facebook investment will mean that Oculus can succeed as a games platform, I just think that's deeply premature.
Well, after seeing the movie, I don't trust Eisenberg.
Not one bit.
Just don't.
No?
He will screw over poor Eduardo
Shift
You be
the eyes.
careful.
Shifty eyes.
Still running with this joke.
To be fair, I don't really trust Facebook. Just in general. I just don't trust Zuckerberg. I have nothing to back that up besides my own paranoia, but I don't
Gut
think...
feeling. You'd make a great cop.
He's got lots of money, and I don't know if he leaves people
Sorry,
alone.
cock.
I don't know. He's going to be like, yeah, that's really great, guys. Listen, I want to make something like this. Yeah, don't focus on games anymore. I think you should go this way.
But did Oculus ever make games?
No, but they don't need to make games.
No.
But they announced it as a gaming platform.
Yeah.
That's different. Well, no, not a platform, but like a gaming bit of hardware focused at gamers.
I guess, but I mean, how... What can they do fundamentally to the hardware to stop it being a valid avenue for game development, regardless of what Facebook kind of wants to do with it?
Stop it being open source. If it's open source, you're fine, because then Facebook can do whatever the hell they want with it, and PC players, well, not even players, PC owners can just hack the shit out of it.
Okay.
But legitimately, if they'd stop making it completely open source, then we have a problem.
All right. And like that...
We've got a problem.
Yeah, you're going to come down to Chinatown.
Do you mind, Gareth?
No.
Interrupting my outro. Rude. Right. And like that.
I just remember that one time.
And like that, we were gone. We'd obviously still love to hear your thoughts on this subject and everything else on Planet Twitter at explosive_Alan, or the Facebook mothership, facebook.com/explosivealan productions, or even by mailing ground control at stuff@explosivealan.com. Thanks very much, guys. Now say goodbye like Arnie.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
This is bullshit.
Get to the chopper. Goodbye. And like that...
As long as they keep it open source.
Can't!